WTCC is brought to you by JVC Kenwood.
Miss out and start 11th and 12th, so this is a real critical time. If you're the back end of the top 10, you've got at least one really good grid position for tomorrow.
Second part of qualifying gets underway. Cars are out on track. Thiago Monteiro not with them. He's with Alex.
Needless to say, a very frustrating result. Thiago, what's going on?
Not clear yet. Obviously there's something wrong, very wrong. Well, I don't know, I just came out of the car, so I get no feeling with the car. We have to understand what's going on because it's actually a very nice balance, but it's just not fast. So something must be going on and we need to analyze that, but just came out, so no time yet to see.
Well, at least he doesn't have a 25-place grid penalty. Unlike the two McLaren drivers over in Austria, just not too far away from us, only about an hour and a half from here to Spielberg. We couldn't quite have made it back from qualifying, but, you know. See, the car does look pretty well balanced, and it's certainly the middle sector of the track, which is the bit that plays to its strengths, the twisty-turny stuff. It does look pretty balanced, but maybe it's just not getting enough out of the high-speed corners here. And that, you know, that's the compromise, that's the balance that you were talking about, trying to find good twisty-turny stuff, but also good stuff in the hang-on corners.
Dare I say it, Martin, I think it looks rotten through the tight stuff. Just the way when Michelit's in free practice earlier was bucking and bouncing, you know, when it picks up the undulations in the braking area, and it's just, you can see all of the Honda drivers really struggling to hang on to the thing and not able to really commit to the corner and take the entry speed, carry the entry speed they need into these sort of mid to high speed stuff. So it's Tarquini's going to have a tough session in front of him. But you know, if he can get in the back end of the top 10, then he could line up front or second row for race 2 tomorrow, and then he's got a half a chance to race from here. It's hard to overtake round here, so he could come away with a half a result tomorrow.
Lopez on his outlap, incidentally, has set fastest second and third sector times. That's just warming up his tyres. Whoa, look at the way the car was drifting away from the apex. He knew that was going to happen, even on that fresh rubber.
He's close though, Martin. I mean, he's very close to the line on that exit of turn 1. A few were getting pinged for that earlier on.
Yeah, and here on the exit of 2, well, he's keeping 2 wheels inside the white line, which not a lot of drivers have. Tarquini on his warm-up lap, fastest in the final sector. Now, that could be interesting. There's Tom Coronel with his engineer watching the action from the Royal Motorsport pit wall. It's Tom Chilton's turn this weekend, clearly, to have more speed in qualifying.
Oh, good drift in there from Lopez. Right into turn 13.
Lopez always has this look of a driver who's making the car do what he wants it to do. It jolly well does what it's told.
It's like my gran with a pair of knitting needles. It was just to be able to, she used to come up with massive creations out of them. I don't know how she did it.
I was going to say,
the way she used them.
I'm struggling to see that simile. However, we'll go with it. Huff, fastest of all in the first sector by getting on for 2/10 in front of any of the Citroens. For Citroen, I think next week on the Grand Prix circuit at Paul Ricard, normal service may well be resumed, even if it's not here. Muller, green in both, and in fact he's purple in sector 2, quicker than anybody so far. Huff is getting through sector 2 at the moment as we watch Lopez.
Strong first 2 sectors from Lopez, but Muller's 2/10 up on him.
Yeah, and 6/10 quicker than Huff in sector 2. What?
No,
Lopez goes fastest. Muller goes faster by 23 hundredths. Tarquini third. Loeb third ahead of Gabrielli. Huff seventh at the second split and goes fourth. Yeah, so there was that big margin. Huff's second sector was a 25.98. I beg your pardon, was a 60.62, and Muller's was a 60.00. Huff lost 62 hundredths to Muller in the second sector alone. And that, according to my theory, is where the Lada is stronger than the Citroen. Clearly Ivan has not been listening, and if he has discarded it.
We've got a track limit warning for Jaap van Lagen. But he's not been pinged yet. He's just been warned about the track limits.
If he does it again, he may end up with a penalty. However, he might not have the tyres to do it again. Looking at the top five at the moment, it's Muller, Lopez, Loeb, Huff and Katzberg. However, here comes Ma across the line, and he goes 8th behind Hugo Vallant. In fact, he goes 7th, according to my timing screen.
That's an underperformance from Ma at the moment. Not anywhere near
Chilton is in 8th, Tarquini 9th, Van Lagen 10th, Bernani 11th, and Hommler to set a fastest lap. Yup, come on, don't wreck the car.
He's got a nice big radiator full of grass then.
Well, there is Norbert Michaelis with team boss Zoltan Zengo just watching the action. Hommler on the flyer, so is Bernani.
Not a bad front sector from Hommler there, so giving his lights a flash.
Yeah, flashing the lights at Sebastian Loeb. 9 times world champion, get out of the way, I'm coming. Loeb will peel into the pits this time round, so Hommler should have a nice clear run in front of him. Picking up that unladen inside rear wheel. Goes by the Citroen driver. I thought Loeb wasn't coming in. I thought he would have been then. Loeb obviously deciding he's going to go for another lap. And Hommler 11th. So didn't improve into the top 10. At the moment, with 2 minutes to go, Van Lagen would be on pole for race 2, ahead of Tarquini, with Chilton and Ma on row 2 of the race 2 grid. Van Lagen, well, he's going to need, at the moment he's our DHL pole sitter. No, 2 minutes, 22 seconds till the checkered flag comes out. Somebody could go a little faster.
But most of them are boxed now, Martin, aren't they?
Hommler's still out. Hommler's out there, Bernani's out there, Ma is out there, Loeb we saw going round again.
Yeah, but they're on slow laps, Martin.
Yeah, why is Loeb going round again?
Maybe he's going to have one more stab at it. No, he doesn't need to. He's easy in the top 5.
Tom Chilton's having a tilt, or is he just coming in? Bernani's on one. That body language says that Bernani is trying to improve his lot, and he needs to, because 12th will be 12th for both races. And you don't come with a factory-built Citroen and go 12th in both races, not if you can help it. Used a fresh set of tyres early. What has he got here? 38.6 first sector. Has Muller just come back out of the pits with 1.5 minutes to go?
Yeah.
Perquet? For why, Keats? For why? Yeah, but why would he be on new tyres?
Right, if he's saving tyres for tomorrow, he might want to heat cycle them.
Right, okay.
To give it longevity in race. So if he's managed to save tyres, because you get a fresh set of tyres for Q3.
Yep.
So if he's saved them, he's safe. So what he'll be doing is he'll be conditioning his tyres for tomorrow's race.
So Loeb is mimsing about, and Bernani's got the hazard warning lights on for some reason as he comes up behind his team boss. Bernani's car run by Sebastian Loeb Racing. Jaap van Lagen on the left and Gabriele Tarquini on the right, watching with interest. One of them will be on the front row. Will both of them? Yes, because Bernani does not improve Well, we know he went out right at the beginning of qualifying with fresh tyres. Now, this is really interesting, splitting the programme for Lada. Jaap van Lagen starts race 2 on pole, but there are 2 Ladas in the top 5 shootout. So our race 2 DHL pole sitter will be Jaap van Lagen in the Lada, and we have 2 Ladas going into the top 5. And that's how you split your programme, Matt. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. Now, Jaap, not looking overjoyed. I'm not sure whether that was delight or whether they deliberately went with that, or whether that's what they ended up with. Gabriele Tarquini, not overjoyed, I'm saying, in that shot.
Yeah, I don't think Jaap will be... Jaap, I think, was having a go, and he won't like being beaten that comprehensively by his teammates. I don't think he was going for 10th. It's too risky. Tarquini has got a front row start, which is brilliant for tomorrow.
Well, now there's the smile back on the Dutchman's face. I knew it wouldn't take long. Peter Huff shakes his hand. Our race 2 pole sitter. Well, he's making the best out of a bad job. However, it hands him a golden opportunity.
Oh, fantastic.
To try and go out and win his first ever race for Lada.
But
not his first race, but to take his first race win for Lada.
I can see why we saw a bit of a long face on Tarquini, because he knows what car he's sat on tomorrow and what the opposition's got against him.
Now, has Ivan just gone by the checkered flag for a second time?
Yeah, I just don't ask me what that one is for. No. I'm running out of suggestions.
He also needs to stop fannying around, because actually we need to get Q3 underway. If you don't mind, Ivan, you know, when you're good and ready, we want to be sending out the 3rd guys, the top 5 guys into Q3 out on track.
Martin,
well, Ben is in the pit lane down with Jaap van Lagen. Let's hear from the Dutchman.
Yep, what's the feeling? You've got 2 guys in the Lada team who are going into Q3, but you are on pole position for race 2 tomorrow.
That's a strategy here.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course.
So you're happy to be on pole for tomorrow?
Yeah, of course. Pole is the best position where you can be. Of course, I try to be in the top 5, but I went off in my run in the fast corner. We changed the car a bit, but got a lot more understeer than before. So it was not the right decision what we did, but okay, P10 is probably the best place to be.
Fantastic. Good luck tomorrow.
You're welcome.
See, 30 seconds of thinking about it, and then he sees the bright side of it. And as he said, he did go off at high speed, and this is it. And there are no higher speed corners in which to go off than turn 2 here at the Slovakia ring.
Where performance matters, you'll find Total Quartz.
The yellow Lada of Nicky Katsberg heads out into Q3 at Slovakia, the first of 5 cars shooting for pole in race 1 here at the Slovakia ring. What a great opportunity this is for Lada. They've already got Jaap van Lagen on pole for race 2, courtesy of finishing 10th in Q2. Don't ask, those are the rules. And big smiles all over the faces of the Lada team. And we asked Yves Maton a couple of minutes ago why Ivan Muller and Jose Maria Lopez were doing another couple of laps after the positions had been set that they were guaranteed to go through into Q3. Burning off fuel was the answer, because the championship is very tight. I would also posit that perhaps what they really don't want more than anything else is for the might of Citroen's factory team to be beaten by the Russians. And I think there's a good opportunity that one of the Ladas will be in front of at least one of the Citroens, and it could be either, it could be both. At the moment, Huff, who comes next, and Katsberg, both in the top 5. First time we've had 2 Ladas in the top 5 this season, and both with great speed and balance in the car as well.
Well, looking down at the pit wall, both the Citroen management and the Lada management all looking pretty smiley and pretty comfortable at the moment. So they either think both of them have got something up their sleeve that they're not telling us about or told each other about, that someone's going to be upset in about 10 minutes' time.
Hey, listen, everyone's a winner before the race, unless your name's Button or Alonso, obviously. On board with Nicky Katsberg then. And this kid really sprung into the World Touring Car Championship with the Lada team. Never raced a front-wheel drive touring car before. His history is from, most recently, from rear-wheel drive and powerful and aerodynamically dependent GT3 cars, and before that, the Megane Euro Cup. And so this front-wheel drive formula has been a real baptism for him, but he showed great pace and composure in Moscow in the races. And he has just translated that directly here a fortnight later to Slovakia. In its way, not a dissimilar circuit with lots of tight and twisty stuff that really suits the Lada. However, you've got to go and get the best out of it.
Well, no pressure on Katzberg. He's the only non-world champion in the top 5.
Yes, good point. And there are, of the remaining 4, 3 of them have been World Touring Car champions as well. So he is definitely swinging in there with the big hitters.
There is no margin to leave anything on the table here. No margin for being conservative. He's got to give it absolutely 101% in this one.
Yeah, and this is the great thing about this top 5 shootout, why I'd love to see it as a top 10 shootout, is it is the ultimate distillation for us of what a racing driver does. Low fuel, 1 set of tyres, 1 lap, and as we like to say, banzai. Over the bridge, down into turn 2. Oh, I'd love to have seen that from on board, whether that was a lift or just a breath or not even that.
He looks strong so far. Heaviest braking area into turn 3. Can he haul it up, get the front end tucked in? Fighting to get the front end in by the looks.
Yeah.
38.1, that's an absolutely storming lap. That's the fastest front sector we've had all weekend.
Sector 2 needs to be under 60 seconds. That's where he is now. This is where you go from turn 3 to turn 12. So 9 of our 14 corners are in sector 2.
You could see him playing with the front wheels there. Just, oh!
Flicks the dust. That's fine. Didn't venture into the gravel trap. Locking a wheel, that's fine too. Viktor Shapovalov closest to the camera in that shot. Just loving this now. These guys have buried themselves physically, mentally, to try and get this program running the way they believe it could do. And now Moscow was really where it all started to gel. And here again, they're just showing that they've got ability and they've got pace.
Coming up to the end of sector 2, let's see where we've got him.
We need a sub 60 second sector 2, 60.89. That's not bad. That's really not bad at all. Look at that bonnet flex. That's how light the cars are built. The cars are well under 100 kilos below the minimum weight limit. That's how good a job they've done on this car. They have to be ballasted up to make the minimum weight. And Katzberg out of the final corner, comes to the line, a 2-minute 4.905. Let's see where that takes us.
It's a solid lap, but it's not going to be, I think he's going to struggle for top 3. There we see, middle sector, yeah, he lost the time. Just put a wheel on the dirt. Then he wouldn't have had the confidence turning into the next 2 corners. That slight bit of dirt on the tyres.
So his teammate, team leader, if you like, Rob Huff, the world champion, is heading out, building up to speed in his Lada Vesta. Well, we were hoping, as I'm sure the Lada team were, that the new car would be a step forward from the predecessor. I've got to say, it's not a step forward from the Granta Sport. It's a leap into an entirely different performance envelope. And they are just starting to work their way away from the centre and out towards the fringes. Rob Huff starts his flying lap here in Slovakia. His teammate Nicky Katzberg is fastest, first sector time of 38.18. Look how calm Huff looks in the inset picture.
No lift, no lift.
Foot welded to the floor. The line absolutely nailed on, used even less runoff area we saw before. 38.18 for Katzberg, 38.17. 9 hundredths of a second up, 9 thousandths of a second up.
That was a very strong first sector for Katzberg, so if Huffy can keep it together and string a good middle sector, this could be a very strong race, using all the track there and more some.
Katzberg 60.89 through this second sector. Rob Huff 9 thousandths in front. And that underlines, Matt, what a great job Nicky Katzberg is doing in the car.
Yeah, this technical section is where the Citroens are immensely strong, so Huffy can't afford to leave anything on the table here.
And the other thing, of course, is this is where Rob will get more out of the car than Nicky Katsberg because of his knowledge of it and how it is at the limit.
Knowledge of the circuit, knowledge of the car, knowledge of the formula.
Sector 1, Katsberg just has to hang on bravely in turn 2, but you know, it's pretty simple, sector 1. Sector 2 is going to make the difference.
No, it's not enough.
That's a 60.64. Katsberg was 60.89.
Yeah, you've got to be round about 60 dead.
Well, we've seen Muller and Lopez below 60 seconds, and they will have 4 fresh tyres for their runs. They'll be in the 59s. Huffy pushing on. The target will be to be on row 2, and he is faster than Katsberg.
Yeah, good solid lap off Huffy there. It's not. I don't think it's going to be pole, but we'll have to see what the Citroens can see what they've got stored up their sleeves.
So Lada 1-2, and Rob Huff through turn 2 here, carrying the speed nicely without upsetting the car by running out of road on the exit. Lada 1-2, 3 Citroens to go now. The championship battle after Q1 and Q2 saw Ivan Muller just ahead of Jose Maria Lopez. Sebastian Loeb third in the championship standings. And if he has any aspirations, and certainly he must do, of trying to win this championship title, then he has got to finish in front of Lopez and Muller. So this is super special, but without Daniel Elena on the nose. This is all down to Seb and what he can produce here.
This is battle of the egos now with the Loeb is fed up of finishing third best in the Citroen team. Muller needs another pole ahead of Lopez. Lopez wants to keep the momentum of his championship going, so it's going to be interesting to see the way this Panel pans out.
First sector, 38.33, and that is slower than both Ladas.
Technical sector 2 should be where the Citroens are strong.
But it's where their tight and twisty stuff comes, so they've got great turn in, but are they nimble enough to make the best out of it?
Well, you don't know the condition of the track now, Martin, as well. You know,
Is it getting hotter than it was early on, and will that have an effect? 60.89 for Katsberg, 60.64 in the second sector for Rob Huff.
Loeb's been clean.
Yeah.
Hasn't he given it enough so far? Just coming up to the end of sector 2.
Look at the white line, across the line he comes, 60.349, so that is quicker than either of the Ladas.
But Huff was very strong through this final sector 3, so
he's got to carry the speed well through this final corner. 1200s up on Rob Huff. Will the Lada be on row 2, in front of a Citroen or behind one? Huff will start 4th or 3rd, but it is Loeb fastest at the moment by 15 thousandths of a second. .25.896 final sector, not as quick as Huff, but just quick enough to stay in front. Sebastian Loeb fastest at the moment. 2 cars left to come. And Loeb having to work very hard at the end.
Very quickly, Q3, second time you've been here, but you are a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it should have been better. I made a little mistake on my Q3 lap, so yeah, I'm guessing Rob's time should have been possible. He's obviously very fast, so Probably he would have been faster, but in the end, I think we can be happy with Q3, and that's P5 twice, so not so bad.
And that's a great indicator of how competitive Nicky Katsberg is internally and how competitive he wants to be, because top 5 is not enough unless you're the fastest of all the cars in your garage, and even then it's not enough because there are some others you've got to go out and beat as well. Now, Sebastian Loeb saying on the radio on the cool-down lap, maybe not my best lap, but let's see what Ivan and Pechito have got. Well, first we get to see what Pechito has got. Jose Maria Lopez. There you can see the Lada drivers, big smiles from Rob Huff closest to us, and Nicky Katsberg.
Yeah, Lopez keeping the car very, very tight.
Well, for Lada, they're looking very happy because their performance is coming on in leaps and bounds as the season progresses. Citroën, it's pretty much what they've got is what they're showing at the moment. How much more might come later in the season remains to be seen.
The attitude of the Lopez manages to keep his car in. He's on the edge of letting it go and scrub speed. He's got that feeling with it where he just seems to be able to get it to the absolute limit, and then it just hangs on there and doesn't push over the limit. Down into turn 10 now, coming up to the end of sector 2, so we'll get a great indicator, but this is where Lopez was very strong.
Yeah, first sector he was slower than Loeb.
No, yes, correct.
A tenth away.
Time.
No, it's a tenth away from Sebastian Loeb. Now he goes half a second quicker. Blimey, he was stronger, wasn't he? Dear Lord. 59.77, that is the fastest second sector that we have seen from anyone ever. And as we come to the line at the end of the final sector, which is just 25 seconds of the minute and 20, the 2 minute and 3 second lap rather, 6 tenths clear.
Wow, 3.9.
Yeah. But 25.74, Rob's final sector, 25.78. So that shows how close it's going to be in not just in qualifying, but actually in the race itself. Citroën will need to start in front because they've got almost nothing in terms of race pace in any sector ahead of the Ladas.
Come on now, Ivan, you need to pull something special out the bag here.
Yeah. Listen, it's only 1 point more than Sebastian Loeb scores, but 1 point less is worse.
Pechito did leave some on the table there. I don't think he did in sector 2. He's absolutely had that nailed, but in sector 1 and sector 3, he could be vulnerable. So if Muller can string 3 strong ones together, Lopez is beatable.
Yes, he is. Muller knows he is. He's proved he is. It's being able to do it consistently and persistently that makes the big difference. So Van coming towards the end of his warm-up lap. Here we come. Maximum velocity across the line. Absolutely nothing left to chance in the final sector of the flying start into the time lap. Well, this really is very, very important times for Van Muller, because if he starts to let that competitive edge slip now, Matt, it just makes the season longer and the points gap continues to grow.
It looks well nailed through turn 2. He's not having to fight with the car much. Over the crest, down into the heaviest braking area. 3, can he get the front end? This is where Pechito's exceptionally strong. Front end looks good on Muller's car. Go through the left and then a very fast right 5 here before the circuit tightens up into 6. So they're fighting with the rear end here. Get the front end without the rear stepping out too much. That's working well. That looks strong. He's 3 tenths up.
Yeah, that's an epic first sector. Lopez wasn't as quick as Loeb. He wasn't as quick as Huff. He wasn't as quick as Katsberg. In fact, the fastest 3 cars in Sector 1 are Muller, Huff and Katsberg in that order. Fastest car in Sector 2, Lopez, 59.775, and Muller, how hard is he pushing, and is that going to cost him pole? Car bouncing all over the place.
Oh, he's hung on to it, he's hung on to it. We'll soon find out. Coming up to the end of Sector 2 now.
Oh, still holds his advantage. 59.795. He lost only 0.02 of a second in that sector to Jose Maria Lopez.
Come on, Ivan, hold it together.
Huff, third fastest in that sector as well. Has got to fancy his chances. Don't forget, at the moment, Rob will start fourth, Nicky Katzberg fifth. Unless Muller has a major issue here, and he's not going to. Is he across the line in pole? Yes, he is, by nearly 1/4 of a second. That was a great final sector as well.
That is a spectacular lap. Spectacular. And that's exactly what we want.
2 minutes, 3.736. That is a new qualifying record for Ivan Muller. Citroën 1-2-3, Lada 4-5. You would have to expect that, but that was a ballsy effort from Ivan Muller. And Matt, that downhill approach into turn 10, that's the shot that tells you everything you need to know about how hard he was pushing. At the end of tomorrow, we'll be at the midway point in the season. Ivan has now closed the gap from 35 to 34 points behind Lopez. He's got to take at least 15 out of him in the 2 races to really give himself a great shot at a 5th World Touring Car title.